Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Nara takbir. Allahu Akbar. Nara takbir. Allahu Akbar. Nara risalat. Ya Rasulullah. Nara risalat. Ya Rasulullah. Hakka Imam Nara Hadari. Ya Aini. Hakka Imam Nara Hadari. Ya Aini. Duw Park Muhammad salawat.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum to you all, the community of Blackburn. It's an honor and a pleasure. Whilst I was driving here, I drove past the mosque and I didn't know if it was this one, I didn't know, but then I saw a person that didn't really look Shiite. So I just kept on driving and I got here, alhamdulillah. You always know when you see the alams and things like that, you know when you're in the right place, alhamdulillah. So, today we've got half an hour until namaz time, so we wanted just to talk about the akhlaq and mantiq of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam and how we can seek nearness to Imam Hussein through the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt. Of course, this is a kids program, so we're going to talk about walking to Karbala. It's the animation that we did last year, and each line actually had a meaning. When we were writing the poetry, the Noha up, each line had a meaning to it, and we're going to try and go through that, and at the end we're going to try and recite it together. We want to hear your lovely voices, inshallah. So the walk from Najaf to Karbala is the concept that was derived of visiting Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and it actually happened during Imam Hussein's time. So after he was martyred, who knows who's the first person that visited Imam Hussein on the Arba'een day? Yes. Excellent. And when Mawlana Jabir was walking towards the grave, he walked and he did very, very small steps. You know how you walk normally? When he was walking towards the grave, he did very, very small ones. And then when asked, why did you do little steps like this? And then he got to the grave, he said, because with every step I get good deeds from it. So he wanted to increase the thawab and nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Jabir did the extra steps. So, who's been to Karbala here? You want to raise your hands just to give us our ideas? Okay, and who's going to go inshallah in the next year or two? Inshallah. So, visiting Imam Hussein alayhi salam is one of the key elements to success in the afterlife. It's such an amazing thing that on the Day of Judgment, when the people enter heaven, there's a hadith that says, don't be a stranger in heaven, make sure you visit Karbala. That shows how many people in heaven have actually been Karbala, because only a few haven't. So it says, don't be a stranger there. It means you can still go to heaven if you've not been to Karbala, but you don't want to be, it gives you the idea. And it shows you the amount of barakah there is in visiting Imam Hussein alayhi salam. It is one of the most noble, honorable things for an individual to do. But visiting Imam Hussein isn't just literally catching a flight, getting there and coming back. This should be a life-changing process. You get two types of people, okay? One type of person that goes to Karbala, they visit, they sit in their nice hotel. It's like a holiday. They visit, enjoy, meet different culture, different people, different types of food, come back home, learn nothing. Nothing's changed. You get a different type of person where in their head they know that when I'm going to go to Karbala, I'm going to make myself a better Muslim, better human being. I'm going to try and avenge Imam Hussein through Imam al-Mahdi Ajjallah Faraj al-Sharif by becoming a better person. So hopefully I might be of the Ansar and become a candidate of the 303 companions, because that's why we exist right now. The whole point is to get the Imam out of occultation and help him to avenge Imam Hussein. That's why, what colour is the flag on the dome of Imam Hussein? Is black during Muharram. What's the other colour? Red. Why is it red? It's red. Do you want to answer? No worries. Do you want to give it a go? Excellent. Back in the day, Arabian time, when a person dies, and if they've not been avenged, on their grave they put a red flag. Red flag means vengeance. He's not been avenged for his death. So that's why Imam Hussein alayhi salam's flag is red. It's the symbol of blood. Okay? So this is critical. We need to change that flag from red to green. And we do that by improving ourselves. That's the only way, because right now, since Imam Mahdi's occultation, Imam Mahdi, how old is he now? 1,184 years old. So we're talking 1,179 years he's been ghaiba. Because he went into ghaiba when he was 5 years old after his father was killed. So we're talking over 1,000 years and we have not found 313 Shias. Doesn't make sense. 313, you only need 313 and it's been over 1,000 years. There's 300 million Shias right now on earth. Well, there's not 313 to help Imam Mahdi. Doesn't make sense. It means you have to be a very, very, very good human being to become the companion. Top-notch scale. And it's not about how nice your voice is or how Muslim you are to become it's not actually about that. It's about how good your iman is and how good, and make sure that you don't sin at all. No haram. That's the category. If you look into the details of the 313, you can find it in our books. It's about how good you are inside. Do you listen to your parents? Do you listen when they ask you to do something? Do you do it, or do you like, oh, can't be bothered, gonna play Xbox, gonna play PlayStation? You know, you have to be a good human being, and it starts in the household, and that's how you improve yourself. Once you improve yourself, it's a stepping stone. It's almost like I find in the spirituality, it's a stepping stone. Bit by bit, you become better, and then one day, you know, you might start seeing things, elevates coming in your dreams. These things happen. It happens to a lot of people who are mu'min. You have to be a mu'min. So, we start off by saying, let's go, brother, to the land of Aba Abdullah. Like brother said, he starts off with the job that is still carrying on. Obviously, when Saddam Hussein's time, it stopped because, you know, you weren't allowed to visit Imam Hussein during Saddam's time, but people would still used to sneak in and go. Those guys were the cool guys. They used to go, and you know, it used to be very brutal what they used to really beat them down because they go visit Imam Hussein, but they still went. That's one of the signs of the Shia. You're strong and you're not scared over people who try to impress people like Yazid. We have Yazids of this time. So it's still the same thing. You have to always fight for what's right. So like you see, we're breaking down the noha. There's lessons in each line. That's what we're trying to go down. The next line is, what does it say? It says, go and pack your bags. Let's reach the land of Karbala. Go and pack your bags. We've got a flight to catch. How many people are lazy and always late to go into school? Or they eat their breakfast, you eating your Cocoa Pops, slow motion, like this, nice and slow motion. Because you've got school, you need to go, we need to be organized. Islam is all about being organized, disciplined. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us pray 5 times a day? One time it's Fajr, that means you have to wake up. One time Dhuhr and Asr in the midday, you've got work, you've got school, you've got so many things to do. Allah says, no, pray. Maghrib time, some people get a bit sleepy, you know, oh, no, pray. Why does Allah put it in difficult times? Because it's meant to be difficult. Because Allah's trying to teach us, be disciplined, you have to be organized. Because Islam, you have to make sure you're always on top of things. You can't leave things, oh, one day I won't pray, oh, one day I can't bother doing Majlis, Imam Hussein, I can't bother doing Matam, oh, one day. Islam's about being disciplined. Once you're organized, your whole life becomes organized. So you become more successful. And when you're older, you've got a meeting to go to, you get there on time. You've got good business meetings, you make more money. That means you can help your family, you can help other people. Organized. Very critical. Go and pack your bag, let's go to Karbala. Don't leave your bag messy. You already got it ready from the night before. Soon we'll be under the dome of Karbala's great night. The great night, you know, they say in heaven, Sayyid-e-Shabab Ahli Jannah, Imam Hussein and Imam Al-Hassan alayhi salam. Now, the question is, you know, they died when they were older. They weren't necessarily Shabab. Imam Hussein was 57 or 58 when he was martyred, you know. His brother not too far off from that. So they're not Shabab. Shabab means, you know, youthful, you know, youthful. So it doesn't make sense. So how is Imam Hassan and Hussein Shabab, the youth? Yes.
Because in heaven everybody becomes young.
How old? Did you say 18? Any more numbers? Anyone else? Bingo? No? 31. Everyone is 31 years old in heaven. Okay? Unless you died as a baby, then you are like a bird. It says you're in heaven. You're like a bird. Well, everyone is 31 years old in heaven. Why that number? It's the same age that Nabi Isa ascended into the heavens. It's the same age. Imam Isa is 31, and when he returns, he will be assisting Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. So, 31 years old. Now the question is, let's go back. Sayyid-e-shabab Ahl-al-Jannah. Now we understand that Sayyid Shabab al-Jannah, they are the Sada, the masters of the Shabab, the youthful in heaven. So if you think about it, that means Imam Hassan and Hussein are the masters of everyone in heaven, because everyone's youthful. Do you connect it now? Sayyid Shabab al-Jannah isn't just youthful to some people, because everyone's youthful there. That's why they are the Sayyid Shabab al-Jannah. It's in reference to everybody. That's why we go under the dome of Karbala's great knight. He's the knight, the master. So it all links in. Okay, so then we get to Karbala now, and it says, come and let us visit our first beloved Imam. Who's our first beloved Imam? Yes? MashaAllah. You know, I keep coming to you because you're the first person straight away, so we'll need to mix it up a bit. Imam Ali alayhi salam. Where is Imam Ali buried? Yes? Not Medina. Yes? Yeah? Najaf. Fantastic. And Najaf is a very, very holy land. So if you look at it in the world map, Najaf is actually smaller than what it used to be. About over 1,000 years ago, during the time of Imam Ali, Imam Hussein, Najaf was actually bigger in the land. Now it's become smaller, and the area next to Najaf is now called Kufa. But all of it used to be actually called Najaf. That's why it says in the Hadiths that in the future the Islamic scholarship will be in Dhahr al-Najaf, which means the back of Najaf. That if you look at it now, the big house there is in Najaf, and obviously that's around that area. So it's all linked together. Obviously you've got Kufa as well. It's a lot of spirituality. Who knows who else is buried with Imam Ali in Najaf? So when you go to the grave, you visit the grave, you see the cage, you touch the... Who else is underneath? Yes? Excellent. Prophet Adam. What's your name? Imran. I was hoping your name's Adam, so we would have meant it. Still a beautiful name. Prophet Adam. So he's buried next to Amir al-Mu'mineen. And if you think about it, Prophet Adam is the grandfather of everyone, because he was the first of Bani Adam. Okay, so we ask him for our safety through the path of Islam. So this comes down to the concept of intercession. This is a big part of Shia Islam, intercession. Other schools of thought, they have different opinions about this. In Shia Islam, it says intercession is a critical part of our religion. Who knows what intercession means? Go on, we'll give you again. Go ahead.
Intercession means like asking something to another person.
Wonderful. So, you ask somebody to sort something out for you. So, for example, say you're in trouble, right? You just did something in school, not very good. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to ask for help? You go ask your mum and dad. Because like, oh mum, I did something, yeah. Mum and dad, exactly. You go ask your mum and dad, mum, I did something in school that was wrong, can you help me out? Teachers are telling me off. So your mum and dad go and speak with the teachers, to the other people, just to calm them down. So it's an intercession. This is the concept of intercession is part of the core part of Islam. And on the Day of Judgment, it's very interesting, okay? So, if say it happens that a child dies at a young age, when they get to heaven, this involves miscarriages and other things like this. When you go to heaven, when it's the Day of Judgment, and then everyone's going into heaven, and say you were a bad parent when you grow older, or something was happened, the child, this baby that's in heaven now, it stands outside on the gate. It doesn't go inside. And it says, the angels which allow them to go inside, why don't you go inside? You're sinless, you've done nothing wrong, you're a baby, you've done nothing wrong, you've not even had a chance to sin. They say, no, I want my mum and dad to come with me. So they say, okay, let's wait and see. So the mum and dad come, they want to go to heaven, but some of these mum and dads not been good mum and dads, they're not been proper Muslims. But then the baby itself intercedes for the mum and dad. It says, I want my mum and dad to come with me to heaven. So it has that kind of power element. See how beautiful our religion is? We have so much help from also. It's not just Ahlul Bayt that intercede for you. It's, for example, even from babies. You've got the people who are good people can intercede for other people. Everybody helps another person out. And this structure actually should be the structure of how we run our mosques. You know? We all look after each other. If there's a problem, we kind of be patient. So when you guys are older, you're going to be running the mosque, you have to be patient because there's always problems with everywhere, in school, home, work, and the mosque. So you have to make sure that if there's an issue, be patient, because if you jump to a conclusion and say, oh, that's it, he said this about my mom, or this family, or he said this about my great uncle, and this guy might have stole some khums money of the mosque, and you have no evidence, or all these kind of problems. It's not right. Give excuses, 70 excuses, it says in Islam, and then we be patient and we carry on. You have to. This is the whole point. Okay? Then the next bit it goes, then we start our journey walking towards where? Karbala. Walking towards where? Exactly. And what's the first part you walk past if you've done the walk of Arba'een is Wadi Salam. What is Wadi Salam? Yes. Graveyard. Is it a normal type of graveyard? Is it a square graveyard? Triangle? Is it a sandy one? How big is it? What's going on? Yes? Really huge. Wadi Salam is the biggest graveyard in the whole world. There's no graveyard bigger than it because everyone wants to be buried next to Imam Ali alayhi salam. Now you might ask why Imam Ali? This is an interesting question. It's because Imam Ali is the next highest position after Rasulullah. He's the next thing. And obviously Rasulullah is Medina, which obviously with what's happening there it's hard to access, so everyone's buried in Najaf next to Imam Ali, which is the grandfather, and that's why everyone goes there. Here we say, walk, brother, walk, don't get tired, you can walk. Now people when they do the Arba'een walk is very long. Who knows how long the Arba'een walk from Najaf to Karbala is? Yes? 3 days, excellent. Do you know how many miles that is? Yes. 100, no, it's less than 100. 80, it's not 80, yes? No, less, we're going down here.
84.
No, down, less than 80.
56.
Very close. Well, you know what, I'll give you that. It's 50, which is 80 kilometers, which you can say 56, depends on which route you go. Oh yeah, well done. 56, we'll go with that. 56 miles, which is basically 3 days. Now the first time that I did it, I was not prepared. I didn't know what was going on. Very hot weather. We're talking about 50-degree heat. Hot desert. It's desert basically. Walking through a desert. So I was walking during the daytime, and my nose it bleeds for some reason in the heat. So I was walking, and my nose is bleeding, right? So who's the next door neighbors to Iraq? It's Iran. What are Iranians known for is the nose jobs, right? So what they do is they cover their nose as if you've done a nose job, because when you do a nose job, apparently you cover your nose and you look like that. That apparently is a fashion trend or something these days. I don't know why. But anyway, so here's me, my nose is bleeding, I have had to cover it, and everyone thought I've done a nose job. Okay, so it was really awkward. But anyway, beyond that, walking, I didn't actually even make it to the end because I burnt myself out. Day one, we did so much miles, and then the next day I'm like, oh, I can't bother. What does that remind you of? The turtle of the rabbit and the turtle, isn't it? Turtle, take your time, don't rush. And in Islam, you're not meant to rush things because haste, doing things quickly, rushing is really bad in Islam. You're meant to take your time, and that's in our hadiths. You have to take your time so you don't make mistakes. I couldn't make it the first time. So the next year, I came prepared. I walked during the night so my nose doesn't bleed, and I took my time, alhamdulillah, we got there. And then we did it the year after, and inshallah this year as well. So, what's that lesson? Take your time with things. Don't quickly in your exams in school, one out, whatever, 10 times, and then next minute, you've got a C or a D, and you don't know what's going on, you just woke up, what's happening? I've just failed my exam. Take your time, use the time that you've got, and use that in all your exams when you're in school, high school, college, university. Take your time. Okay? So, that's that one. We've got another 7 minutes before we're going to, inshallah, recite it together. Now, here is on the next paragraph, it says here, look at all of these servants of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. So you see when you do the walk, you see lots of people serving. Do you guys know what kind of foods they give out? Can you give me some food examples? Go on. Sweets, yes. Dates, any more? Have you guys seen the videos online, what they give out? Go on. You forgot? I'll be honest with you, I've not seen that one, but if they have... Oh, do you mean the shawarma? Shawarma, yes, they do. They've got the biggest ones there. Yes.
Tea.
Tea, definitely tea, yes.
Food.
Food, yeah, what type?
I don't know.
Not sure? Water, of course, water. I'll tell you right, when I went there, I've seen everything. Honestly, there's not one thing that I've not seen. Doner kebab, falafel, chips in bread.
Wow.
You know, you've got all sorts. The tea, I don't know if you guys tried the Iraqi tea. So if you have the cup, these guys, I'm Iraqi, so when I say these guys, I include myself. But although I don't drink my tea like this. So you got half the cup is sugar, the other tea is just the tea. So that's how sweet it is. When you drink it, like I said, that's why lots of these guys have got diabetes, you know. So you need to take your time with the sugar. I don't know about that. That's more of a cultural thing. Let's not associate that one with religion. But yeah, so you see everything. So it makes you enthusiastic. The Iraqi guys, because most of the people who give it Iraqis, because it's in Iraq, they're so generous. They just want to give. Why? Because Imam Hussein gave on the day of Ashura. He gave his children, he gave his family, he gave water, he gave his existence, he gave his soul, even his soul. Why? Because even in the heavens he still looks after us. Imam Hussein gave everything. So are you going to give everything? Not just food, you're going to give your money, you're going to give your time, you're going to give your patience, you're going to give everything to help mankind, because if he did it, we learn from him. So what did we say? When we're patient, we calm down. When we're older, we have money, we spend it in the right way. Everything we learned from Imam Hussein on that day that he did on just a few hours. Few hours of his life, right at the end, you learn a whole lifetime. And then you can carry on with Sayyida Zainab and her patience, but it concises it on that day. You can learn a lot. Okay, so that's why you see people give. Always remember us, because Imam Hussein gave. And whatever we give, it'll never be enough. But we try. That's the idea. And that's why it says in the whole world, this is the most generous events. You won't find any event, any festival, carnival, other religion activity. You won't find any event that's donated financially, physically, emotionally, and time-wise to anything other than Arba'een of Imam Hussein. It's the biggest event ever in history, and it will continue to be. You know, where do you find in the books? You've got 25 million people in a small city. It's a small city, very small. It's actually, if you compare it to the other cities in Iraq, it's tiny, but you've got millions and millions and millions of people. Even one time, you have the satellites open. You know, these guys who monitor satellites, these people weren't Muslim, and they just saw over Iraq there was an intense black dots in a certain part of Iraq. And when they zoomed in, they just saw streets filled with people wearing black going visiting Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And that was the day of Arba'een. So even from the skies, you can see the intensity of the love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. So here is a critical part that I want us to finish off on, because we've not got time to finish the last paragraph, but we'll finish off on the third paragraph, where it says, "Thank you, O Allah, for this blessing, O Allah." So if you guys have read Ziyarat Ashura, at the end of it, Allahumma lakal hamdu hamd ash-shakirin laka ala musabihim. Basically here that means we're saying to Allah, Allah, thank you for this tragedy that we're aware of. I'm paraphrasing it. Thank you that we know about this and it's affected me. Because it's through this tragedy that we are able to become better people. So that's why we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this event. And it's critical for us to take part in the Arba'een, and inshallah we do go every year and by the way, if your parents are saying, oh no, not this year, try and encourage them, say, no, come on, it's easy, we can figure it out. And you don't have to stay in 5-star luxury hotels. The people, they give you rooms to stay in, houses to stay in, they're very generous. Just sort out your flight, and from that, inshallah, Allah will take. So if you're not financially well off, don't worry about it. Go, and inshallah, Allah will take care of you. Okay, so for this final segment, inshallah, we want you all to recite. So who's heard Walking to Karbala? Have you guys heard it? Inshallah. Who's got a nice voice here? Just one person. Come on, Blackburn. Not shy, please. You got a nice voice. You want to try to recite the chorus for us? No. Do you want to try and recite it for us? How about you? Yeah. Do you want to try and read it out? Walking. Okay. No worries. It's okay. Maybe because I've not seen you guys before. We'll warm to each other inshallah in the future, bit by bit. So what we'll do is we'll recite it together, and even if you didn't want to recite it, just do my attempt to it. No problem at all. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Quite interesting. You've got two mics connected. It's very nice. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala. Let's go, brother, to the land of Aba Abdullah. Go and pack your bags, let's reach the land of Karbala. We cannot be late, we must go and catch our flight. Soon we'll be under the dome of Karbala's great night. This is Arba'in, let's go do the Arba'in. This is Arba'in, let's go do the Arba'in of our Imam Hussein. Let's perform the Arba'in. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala. Come and let us visit our first beloved Imam. Do ask him for our safety through the path of Islam. The start of our journey we walk past Wadi Salam. This is the biggest graveyard in the whole of mankind. Walk, walk, brother, walk. Don't get tired, you can walk. Walk, walk, brother, walk. Don't get tired, you can walk. The angels do record, and God will give us reward. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala. Look at all of these servants of Imam al-Hussein, giving water to the walkers of he who was slain. In the whole world this is the most generous event. People like to stay with them so that we can lament. Thank you, oh Allah, for this blessing, oh Allah. Thank you, oh Allah, for this blessing, oh Allah. For my heart to be near, so close to our Amir. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala. Did you know every step we take gives us big blessings? 1,000 deeds we get and 1,000 remove sins. We have now reached the blessed land of our third leader. We ended in the land of heaven of our teacher. Labbaik ya Hussein, I am here for you Hussein. Labbaik ya Hussein, I am here for you Hussein. Every year inshallah I'll come walking to Hussein. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. Walking to Karbala, from Najaf to Karbala. I'll give my life and soul just to get to Karbala. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
So inshallah we've gathered some different lessons from this Noha, which involves different kinds of aspects of Islam, from learning, teaching, akhlaq, mantiq, of course, going to the ziyarah itself of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and hopefully this will encourage you all, if you've not been, especially you guys who have not been, to go, or to encourage your parents to take you. And of course this experience is a life-changing process. Remember, whenever you go ziyarah, there's two types of people: one who goes and learns nothing, and one who makes it a life-changing process. It's up to you. No one's going to tell you to change your life. You have to do it yourself and make the ziyarah process of Imam Hussein a way for you to change and become a better Muslim. وآخر دعوانا والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
It's going to be a short namaz break and the majlis will continue after that, inshallah.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي الله أشهد أن عليا حجة الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله. اللهم اجعل قلبي بارا وعمري سارا وعيشي فقارا ورزقي دارا وأولادي ولاد واجعل إلى قبر نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم مستقرا وقرارا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
Allah.